I'm going WanteD.
Oh, okay. I'm with you. I think Complex got this. I don't understand a goddamn thing, and I have no idea how it's gonna work. So, complexity all the way. Jungle Bloodseeker, Ags, Refresher. Entire team has Bloodseeker ult on them, except for one guy, Rubik, who's just around wiggling his stupid ass off. We're good.
I mean,
Fogged. Our side. The complexity.
thank you.
Come on, some sweet.
The one with some logic. On the table, okay.
Embrace the meat.
Don't forget the Brewmaster.
Who? There's a brew in this game?
There's a Brewmaster.
I don't think there will be a brew in this game. Yes! Yes!
Well done.
Very well. Alright, I'll
All
take
right.
that bet.
You are whoring out your dog.
Whatever, Mr. Rue likes the attention. He's a sweet, sleeping boy. Anyway.
He's snoring like a
Oh my
chainsaw
god,
right
the
now.
draft is...
Guys, the
game
game
has been going on for a
started.
while. Let's shoot it over
Game.
to Trent and Xylor.
All right, thank you very much, gang. It looks like it will indeed be the Jungling Bloodseeker, Iron Talon first item. Mr. Trent Pax, how are you feeling looking at these drafts here? I am on the Fog camp. I think WanteD is a slightly advantageous ease of execution advantage here.
Really? I don't think so.
No?
I think they got this. No, I'm a believer.
You're on the
We
complexity
got Dong
camp.
on the Brewmaster. That's going to be fine. We got Z-Freak on Bloodseeker. This guy knows all the tricks of the trade of all those various niche 4 positions, and Bloodseeker's one of them.
True, true.
We've seen Jerax do that thing with the Dagon before. I didn't think we've seen Z-Freak do it in the past. So
Really the hero that I'm concerned about though is the Brewmaster. I think this like 747. He's played a lot of Brew, but it's a hard hero to execute with right now. There's a lot of pressure to make those ultimates count towards the late game. He doesn't always scale that well unless he gets a lot of momentum in the mid game. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on 747 here. If he has a good active early game, Complexity might have a chance.
you just got to believe. Yeah, if you believe in complexity, you got to believe in these Brew splits, because they'll win some fights, they'll take some towers with profit, and they'll just be like chucking out these silences, and suddenly he just snowballs way to control. It's certainly feasible for complexity. I mean, I can definitely agree with the sentiment that things look pretty stock and standard here on the Radiant. I mean, they got this Rubik and CK to come out. Oh, look at this nice Treant pull. Well played here by Mr. Monkeys Forever. Seems like he's got some experience on this.
So let's talk about the lane setup a little bit, though. We'll see a rotation. PPD will stay off lane for the moment, and they are going to rotate out. Chessie comes bottom. Snowball in from Jo onto Melons. There's the Reality Rift, and the Coconut will just stop that one dead in its tracks. Very nice. Easy. It's now a safe lane CK, and the TP up top was Boris, so they will indeed go to the off-lane Tide Hunter. It seemed like they almost wanted to aggro try with the safe lane Tide, but they've switched it up here.
Yeah, looks like they trying to find out that Spectre, right? This is a nice situation too. Boris just gonna be able to bash up into this guy. But Moo, I have a pretty decent time farming up here, I would say.
Yeah,
Pretty
so
happy
far.
now they've left.
Monkeys up top just trading blow for blow with PPD and Boris. Kind of an awkward lane up top, but as you mentioned, Moo, kind of the big benefactor. QO mid lane, it is Dragon Knight versus Brewmaster. It looks like Dragon Knight with a small advantage to start, and then, of course, we can't forget about Z-Freak. He's just jungling away. But still be happy to just break even in these lanes because they've got that jungling advantage. Down bottom, Monkeys initiated on. A lot of damage coming his way. There's the Chaos Bolt. A few more auto attacks, and they will find it. It's Jo on the Tusk who draws the first blood.
All right, that's it done. Good start. Definitely the best 4-position hero that was left in the pool, at least in terms of your more standard ones too. So understandable why they grabbed up the start of the draft. And when we were in the lobby there, you can see them just saying Z-Freak banned out GG, I believe PPD was saying there. So Z-Freak actually attempted to go for a no rush 15 game. So you know, he's trying to get some standards, a little bit of a peace agreement going for the first 15 minutes, but clearly wanted having none of it.
Absolutely. Spectre up top, 10-4 against the 5-1 Tide. We'll see how this lane continues to unfold. So far, the supports for complexity have been elsewhere on the map, leaving this Spectre to his own devices. Jo forced to use the shrine as 747 with a haste rune. Chases him down. Will he push back to lane?
Yeah, no real concerns for coL either in this lane, really. Like, he's got his bottle nice and early on. He can go for some bottle crone if he wants once we get our flying courier going. And just continue to CS. I mean, you can see 747 not even bothering with the Drunken Haze in the first 3 levels. Not going to be too impactful.
Gets it at level 4 here, though, but yeah, you're right.
Give him that fire like that.
Yeah, DK's got a nice lane. Snowball down bottom. Jo in onto Melons. No follow-up from Chessie. Coconut will not find any bounces. In comes the CK, though. There's the damage onto Melons. Voodoo Restoration, healing him up a little. And that'll be the end of it. Just some damage exchanged. Right, I want to turn focus to the Bloodseeker, though. Curious what you're thinking in terms of item trajectory for G-Freak. So far, he's been uncontested, so we should assume that he'll be able to farm pretty well. So pick of the litter. What's the go-to here if you're the Bloodseeker?
Dagon. You just buy Dagon. You go Brown Boots Dagon.
That's the build, huh?
That's the build.
All right. We'll see if your
it's either that or the
is
Force
right.
Staff occasionally, but...
Monkeys. He might be good here. Chaos Bolt, just about 10 mana short on Chessie. Very unfortunate.
It is in no way unusual to see that come out.
Okay. Brown Boots Dagon. If you're completely unpressured, is there a more optimal build? Like, is there any world where you get a Midas or something like that? Like, is Sanj and Yasha at all viable on Bloodseeker, or is it all about the instinct?
I think you're more about being a utility.
Okay.
Maybe in a game like this where you have this Prophet and Brewmaster, you could consider going back into those more traditional builds, but for the most part, when you run it in the 4, you're building like your 4 staffs, your Dagons, those kind of things.
Down bottom, Monkeys in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack. They can't quite get it. The Orb of Venom ticks him down to 6 HP, but he lives to tell the tale.
It's kind of close. Monkeys is super poor, though. Being forced to rotate down here into a pretty awful lane. No defensive tools. Like, typically you can think about Sprout as being at least somewhat of a defensive option to, like, block out heroes who get aggressive, but not against Snowball. Melons chases PPD into the side chop up here.
Yep, move very low, but will stick around. PPD gets the TP off in time. Silence from Z-Freak does connect onto the Tidehunter, though, and they will continue to chase this down. Z-Freak, pretty speedy, but does not want to dive the tower. Just Brown Boots, Quelling Blade. Not even a Stout Shield. Definitely want to tank those tower shots. They do play it safe and back out. Still only 1 kill on the scoreboard as we pass the 5-minute mark.
And Monkeys finally gets a little bit of reprieve down here, too, as Jo heads back to the base. See if he wants to go and try and make an impact elsewhere. And, nope, right back bottom. Just wants to keep ruining his style. Okay, well, he's even going to smoke up Dire Vision. We do have something in here, so possible Monkeys will be feeling a little bit safer than he should, but it could just end up being a ward here from Jo. We'll see if it results in a kill as well.
Well, down comes the ward. About to have a ward to push this lane, of course. Can see TP rotations to the shrine, all that good stuff. And pretty much need to smoke to try to get that down as well. There's no other reason why you'd run there. Pretty easy ward to counter if you see the Tusk just move into fog.
So scary.
Yep. Worthy use of a smoke just to get that ward down for sure.
And Jay will even camp the rune, which they won't know about either. But not going to find anything. And is that is an arcane rune for QO, so this is great for him. Level 6.
It's huge. Yeah.
The Dream rune wants to head top with it. Do they have Ravage? Not yet. Boris still a ways away. He had a TP out a couple times, so instead QO is hunting for Z-Freak.
Yeah.
Gonna pass right by him though. And now we'll find him from the high ground.
Very nice for QO here. Good positioning. Can he actually find this kill? There's the Dragon Tail after popping the Elder Dragon form.
Raindrops.
And one more auto attack. He's got it. Silence will connect, but it does not matter whatsoever. Nice, easy free kill there. And he popped the Arcane Rune, so it gets that shorter cooldown on Elder Dragon form. Saves him about 35 seconds or so. It's actually a pretty big deal. Meanwhile, back in the top lane, Boris 1 creep kill away from the Ravage. This could be bad for Complexity if they're not careful here. Can they kill just 1 creep? Instead, they'll go in on the Spectre. The stun from QO, the Breathe Fire. Now the Snowball across. They get the kill. Boris tries to TP out, but it won't happen. Now Z-Freak joins the party. Bloodright does catch a silence on 1. Stun onto the Nature's Prophet. That'll finish off Monkeys. It's a very back and forth fight. It's now QO on the front line. He's getting low. The Coconut comes right back to him, and then back to Chessie again. It's a 2-for-2. The Brew Split doing a lot of work. Still about 20% duration. Chessie blocked in completely from the Treants. Very nice micro unit control here from Complexity as they do take this fight. 747 goes back into the Panda form. That will be the end of it.
That's a problem, exactly. Chessie's just like, well, shit, what a buff to Brewmaster. Do you see how much that Wind Panda did? Immediately purges them. I mean, it's very early in the game, so they're weak, but the bonus damage from the Brewmaster just completely killed his Phantasms. He just, the Windmaster, easy.
Sick fight here for the Dire squad. And that gives them a nice little gold lead.
Problem. That's so funny.
Oh my. Monkeys now has his phase boots complete on the Nature's Prophet. Stuff there. And looks like 747 thinking about just right into Arcane Boots. Of course, Blink Dagger on Brew, one of the first items you'll want to pick up. But a great first Brew ult for sure. I mentioned in the draft that this is one of those heroes, sort of like Death Prophet. You need to make every ultimate count, especially in the early game, and that's one hell of a start for Susan.
Yeah, now he's still rich. He's even eyeing up an early Vlad's here. So, of course, all your auras for you non-Brewmaster aficionados, so we don't get to see the hero all too much these days, making a nice reappearance in the offlane though. But they do keep going when you're in your ulti form. They just follow around your little Earth Panda.
And some slow siege down bottom. coL with the Elder Dragon form. Just slowly chipping away. Hard for Complexity to defend here. Moon on the Spectre. Lingering nearby. Does have a haunt. Looks like he's going to go for Helm of the Dominator. See if they can get the deny on this tower. And Monkeys is actually the one to grab it. Chessie. Reality Rift. Chaos Bolt onto the Witch Doctor. Follow-up not quite there. Cast will take a bounce, but that's where it stops. Medic Breathe Fire on 2. coL has nowhere to go as he's the one that gets ruptured. And they'll go 1-for-1. Chessie tries to TP out. Z-Freak will have the damage with his friends. Jo as well gets taken down, and it's a 1-for-3 double kill for Z-Freak. Complexity once again find a great fight.
466 gold immediately onto our Bloodseeker. And then, yeah, that helm also going to be done here for Moon in just a moment. So that flying on in, grab himself a creep and just farming towards what I guess he might assume will be the Manta build, but who knows? He ends up getting enough going for himself. Might head into the old stock standard Radiance. It has a little bit of merit this game.
Yeah, no doubt. Things looking okay for Complexity in this early game. Now up to about a 1,500 net worth lead.
He's so rich. He's skipping over some of the Dagon. That's poverty Bloodseeker. That's when you're not getting this farmed. He's going straight for the Aghanims.
Wow, treads
Double
Aghanim.
Rupture is going.
This will make Suns fan happy.
See how it works. So good on this hero actually, and like again, this is just more that utility idea with the hero though, right? Where it's not about the right clicks at all. It's just your ultis and your silences.
I mean, the double ultimate 2 scepter charges. coL up top comes in. Elder Dragon form. Dragon tail onto Melons. Chessie's there with the follow-up. Stun locked full to 0. Nothing the poor Melon could do.
I even has some illusions to help out with the push here, but
Is that Blink Dagger up on Brewmaster? No, he's going for Vlad's first item. Interesting.
yeah, he's doing the auras.
Like it. Top, Chessie looking for a TP home. Seems he'll make it. 747 drops the trees. The Quelling Blade from coL, so he's able to make it out. Now he turns onto the Spectre. Brew Split, though, coL should be dead here. Bloodright actually falls short. Dragonite just a little bit too tanky. They catch him with the stun, but there's Boris with a Ravage. Keeps him alive. They might be able to turn on Monkeys. Nope, there's that Wind Panda. Pesky little devil. Meanwhile, on the back line, they're still duking it out. coL and 747 going blow for blow. Susie in very deep. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jo not able to survive as Monkeys goes on just a sliver of HP. Moo gonna make it out as well. Now back to the other way. 747 still alive, just barely, but that last auto attack will find Melons from the low ground. It's just not doing enough damage. It's a beautiful cast, but the Death Ward is missing the uphill. You see the evades coming out. It'll be enough to keep coL alive. Almost a huge setup, but Complexity falls just a little bit short.
Yeah, just a couple mistakes, I guess, throughout that fight there. Whereas, I mean, you can't really blame 747 too much. He doesn't have 4 people controlling his hero or anything like that. But diving under the tower, like the Dragonite just kind of almost dragging the Earth Panda under the tower with him. And so Susie gets put in kind of a weird spot. And he was busy microing the Wind Panda, so he wasn't able to throw out all the stuns that were available to him from the Earth one, because he was doing some tosses up on the other side of the engagement. And that basically secured coL's escape there.
This Dragonite still looking pretty farmed. coL, top of the net worth chart. Looks like Armlet will be his next item of choice, just a recipe away. Always a good item to have on the DK. And checking in on Z-Freak Scepter status, we are about 1,300 gold away. He's pretty close. Some things maybe get a little more difficult for WanteD, especially on that reveal. You know, we always talk about Blink Dagger reveals, but that first fight when there's 2 ruptures, that'll catch you off guard, you know?
Yeah, at least they'll know he's going for it for a long time, but without buying any of the other components, you never know exactly how close it is. And they do not have Lincoln's heroes. at all.
No.
So
No.
these are going to get off. Like, the best they could do is hope that Jo gets farmed enough for a Lotus Orb, or maybe even Boris if he wants to skip mobility and just go second item.
Boris going for mech. Looks like that'll be arcane mech for him, and then into the blink dagger. I've seen this pretty commonly on Tidehunter. Just try to tank up some utility for the team. Use the Ravage maybe a little more defensively in the few. We'll see a 5-man squad from WanteD, though. All 5 in the top lane as they put some pressure on this tier 1 tower. Looks like Complexity will not mount a defense. They're busy smoked up, roaming about the Radiant jungle. And now they come in. The TPs, the tower on a sliver of HP. Maybe they can just blow up 747, and they do. Can't even get the Panda split off. That's a misplay from Complexity. A 3v5 at best as 2 of their members were still rotating in. Now the snowball in. Monkey's taking a lot of damage. Reality Rift stun. He will fall. Bloodright only connects on the Rubik. He'll get ruptured, but tries to TP out right away. coL keeps his friend alive. The Coconut falls just short from Melons. Now Reality Rift. The Coconut, no, now keeping him alive, but not for long. Ice Shards, another stun from the CK, and it's WanteD that strike back. They find a trio of kills. The top tier 1 tower does die, not denied by Complexity. Pretty much everything they wanted out of that, and even their Rubik survived.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine if you actually do manage to get the split off, could be a good fight. Could go well. Team was wrapping around, but a bold play for sure. 747 was annihilated, but they will try and do a little bit of split push down bottom here with Monkeys.
Yep, Monkeys now going for the drum, kind of a classic Nature's Prophet build. I think Phase Drum Orchid is usually what I think of, or maybe even a Maelstrom next. Kind of curious if he's going to transition into right click, kind of go more utility. He has a lot of options. This is a good foundation for a number of different builds.
Yeah, judging by how this game's going, probably gonna have to look in towards a Maelstrom for some split push, but
Go down bottom. Monkeys caught here. Out comes the Sprout. coL does not have the Elder Dragon form, but he does have a Dragon Tail. Can Monkeys juke him and jive him? Answer is yes. Meanwhile, back in the mid, Coconut bouncing around. Death Ward comes out, but Boris survived through it.
Holding it there, continuing the zone, but yeah, nice survival there. A-okay.
Up top, TP in from Chaos Knight. It's a 3-on-1. He gets silenced. It is like the Brewmaster, but on the other side of the coin. Jesse just dies 1v3. That's it.
All right.
Freebie.
Flipping right back, and yeah, and that is one great thing about the Prophet, of course. Not only do they have the global vision from our Bloodseeker, we are getting the other globals going, as discussed during our drafting period. But continuing the push, perhaps. Maybe trying to bait as many WanteD heroes up here as they can. I mean, they see coL and PPD mid. There's no reason for Monkeys to leave.
Yeah, up top, they were thinking about maybe moving in the Tuscan for a kill.
Yeah, the Centaur stalking them, though, to make sure Monkeys will be safe as well.
Now the slow siege mid, they force out the glyph. Nice stun onto Brewmaster before he can split. Melon's on the other side. Sprout, Cass gonna start bouncing around, but no, the snowball across. Out comes the split from Brew and this Dragon Knight locked down, but Boris with a huge Ravage connects on 3, drops the mech, keeps coL alive a little bit longer, and might have just salvaged this fight for WanteD.
Oh, Moo's
coL
living.
does end up dying. Moo trying to get out. Ice Shards fly, but it's not enough. Panda's in the back line. Messing up this fight, but he is going to go back into Panda form soon. 747, he's isolated, and they bring him down now 1-for-1 with Complexity on the retreat. Ice Shards will actually block out Z-Freak just a little bit here. Rubik with the stolen Spectral Dagger comes in for a telekinesis. Jo might be able to just finish off Melon straight up. Chessie with another stun into Reality Rift. CK doing a hell of a lot of damage in these fights. It is WanteD that finds the advantage at the end, albeit a small one.
Yeah, that was definitely advantage Complexity until the pick off onto the Witch Doctor, just because they were able to bring down their top net worth into Dragon Knight. But we'll be back here in a moment. Arcane Rune. Oh, Boris. Fortunately, doesn't really want that one yet. Great rune for a tide, but not much use when you've already popped your Ravage. So, coL with the bottle. More than happy to take it as well, of course.
Boris
but,
is
yeah,
already...
we got... oh, what's Boris doing?
I was going to say he's already been getting off good Ravages, and now he's pretty close to the Blink Dagger. He's got 1,500 gold after the mech.
We also have the double Ruptures ready to come out here from Z-Freak.
Oh, okay. Big opening here. Smoke. They catch Swindle. Poor Witch Doctor just obliterated.
That's a tank the gank moment. That's fine.
Yep. Gets better the Witch Doctor than anyone else in that kind of a scenario. Move. Sensing that the rotation could be coming his way, just TP's back to the shrine. Call there. Meanwhile, Monkey's still just farming away. Looks like Force Staff, probably into Hurricane Pike, will be his next item.
I like this. Synergize as well with the fact there's going to be 2 Ruptures going as well. And then just the general fact of trying to kite these guys around, like saving someone after a Ravage, pulling people away from Chessie after he initiates and has those big 4-second stuns. Makes a lot of sense. There's a Ravage mid on the Boris. Kraken won't save you from that, but a TP will.
A Rupture.
Good item.
Yep. Is he against the Bloodseeker?
So Z-Freak, we'll see if he goes for that Yules, another kind of classic item that these support Bloodseekers will get.
Mm-hmm. Yep, another one so you can basically get the guaranteed silence. Yules them, drop the blood right, and they can't get out of it in time.
Or cancel TPs
Super
as
good.
well.
Yeah, that too. I guess a dual-faceted utility there. Smoke now from Complexity. 747 leading the charge about halfway to the Blink Dagger. Still just Brown Boots Veil, or pardon me, Vlad's. This Brewmaster's actually pretty broke right now. He's lowest of the cores. Less than 1,000 net worth behind him. 747 had a
He
good
was
start,
up there, but yeah.
brutal.
That's kind of happens with the Brew if you don't win these fights, right? The only way he
Yep.
gets gold, he doesn't really farm too much.
Find the DK. He's deep behind the tower. He does get silenced. Drops the Elder Dragon form, but he's got a lot of teammates inbound. Can they get here in time to save the DK? That is a resounding no. Chessie caught by the coconut. Brew Split's already come out. This could be the end of the Chaos Knight as well. He tries to armlet toggle, but it won't be enough to survive. They'll get a free tower, and it's not done yet. Tusk caught by the Earth, or the Wind Panda rather, sets it up for the rest of the team as the Bulldogs flies through, and it will be a 3-0. Z-Freak on the mega kill streak as they now move into this tier 2 tower. This is a huge burst of momentum for Complexity.
Damn, Stany was poor, and then he just comes in, gets that first kill. He ends up with 522 gold just from that, and
I mean, that makes it all the more impressive.
Yeah.
He did that without a Blink Dagger, without any real farm, just good positioning, a good call to dive deep onto the DK, knowing that the rest of WanteD were not quite in position to defend.
Is who's the support again in this game? Is it Z-Freak? Is that him up there with the 8K net worth?
Supposed to be Z-Freak, yeah. That would be the position 4. So
you guys didn't
yeah.
want to see any more jungle Bloodseekers, right? Certainly this will help the situation.
Yeah, I mean, it can be really good when you're left uncontested like this. I mean, think back to that early game. WanteD let Z-Freak have complete run of the jungle, nothing slowing him down, and then his first couple rotations into that top lane, pretty good. You know, he's 5-1 and 5. It's not like he was just passively farming. He got the best of both worlds. He got kills and free farm. I guess not surprising to see him so high on net worth.
Yeah, and he's going to opt into a Force Staff as well.
Yeah, good item on Bloodseeker. Natural synergy there. Boris, invisible, not a smoke as he goes in on the melons. Does have the Ravage, but he gets ruptured. And this makes things a little precarious for Tide. He also gets silenced. Oh no. They will get the kill on Monkeys, but they stop the Ravage from coming out. And okay opening to the fight for Complexity. They've dived past the tier tower now, and they'll just turtle up in the base, split pushing on both side lanes. In the bottom, we've got Moo, and up top, it's 747 trying to put some pressure on that tier 2.
Well, creeps took a little while to get here, and a glyph, so time being delayed. Panda's available, 20 seconds until we have our Nature's Prop back though.
Here we go, 747 jumps in, clap right into Brew Split. Snowball from the Tusker, but not going to do much on the side. Chessie just completely surrounded. Boris has the Ravage, but trying to find the opening to use it. Melons in the backline with a huge Death Ward, destroying the team. Chessie and Boris both down, and now coL put up into the air. He is invisible, and they've got no detection. The Shadow Blade will keep him alive. The 2-0. The tier 2 tower is defended, and Complexity looking strong. 747 again with a great initiation to start off that fight.
Yeah, that Rupture is just so difficult to deal with in this combination, because if you're in that kind of a situation
coL.
right now...
Oh,
nice.
coL, you poor baby. The Sprout, he can't get to the shrine in time. He will get it off, but he TP in to save him. I mean, this is going to buy him a little bit. And, okay, enough time to outlast the Dust of Appearance and get off another Shadow Blade. So, nicely done. If he didn't have the Quelling Blade there, though, that would have been a totally different story.
And I'm just taking a peek over at Moo here. He's got that Radiance queued up after his Vanguard being done now. And we'll see if it saves him here.
Well, looks like it's certainly helping. Jo has the Sigil down, slowing Moo, but he moves into the tree
going
line. The
back
fight
in.
breaks out on multiple fronts as Jo gets killed first. Boris with a Ravage on 2, but Moo and 747 still alive. Chessie reinitiates Moo so low, but makes it up to the high ground as Monkeys comes in.
On a
They're going to
haste
try to
rune.
pursue this, but now the Blood Right completely zones them out. Vector will indeed live. Now Monkeys in a world of hurt, trying to TP out. Chessie does have the stun. Monkeys will fall. So ends up okay for WanteD here, but could have been worse for Complexity given that Spectre did just barely survive.
Yeah, couldn't really afford to lose Moo there. So Vanguard just paid for itself, essentially. Narrowly survived that one.
I like this build from the Spectre, though. You know, Helm of the Dominator, Vanguard. This is what we were talking about in the draft, where Spectre is no longer a hero that's just a passive AFK farmer, where you really can get involved in these fights and still get a pretty well-timed Radiance. I mean, he's looking at having the Radiance well before 30 minutes. And plenty of time to still, you know, maintain his seat at #1 net worth, not even recover, further the lead.
Yeah, she's one of those heroes that just has a lot of these versatile builds too. You can go for your hoods or your vanguards, you see here, and with the new introduction of Helm, much like every other hero in the game, she can build it. That item is actually just not bad on anyone, I'm sure.
Now, there's got to be somebody, but
I don't think so.
Classic on Crystal Maiden.
Stalking. Yeah, no, it's actually good on Crystal Maiden though. That's the problem. It's good on everyone. That's the issue. When there's position 4 silencers building in every game, there's a problem. But
747 again starts off this fight great for Complexity. PD gets destroyed. Jo shortly after, and now Chessie completely locked in the trees, set to be a 3-0 in the blink of an eye as Complexity take yet another team fight. We see Z-Freak even using the Force Staff for extra damage on the Rupture. Easy set of pickings here. This is getting scary for WanteD. They're rapidly falling behind here, and you know, this Spectre is not even close to the peak power.
Yeah, and
Brew goes back for a Midas.
Hey man, gotta get those talents. Think about how good that plus 20 armor is gonna be against this team. Invincible Brewlings.
Invincible. Wow, and Z-Freak at level 20 can get the talent for 14% extra Rupture damage. He's level 16 now. That's pretty scary also.
Yeah, he's climbing up there. Man, he is so rich.
Yeah.
What a hero.
So what do you buy next if you're the Bloodseeker?
It's quite pretty much up to him. He has a choice of just going like defensive. If he wanted, he could just go BKB.
I think the Yules is still pretty good, honestly. So they've already got like that Wind Panda who's been isolating people. You add a Yules on top of that, and it's even more just lock people out of the fight. Look at these dire wards, by the way. Trio just trickling into the Radiant jungle, ready to find anyone if they come to farm.
And you can see how they're playing around them too right now. I mean, this is kind of standard stuff, right? We get to that point in the game where maybe not so much since 7.00, but certainly in the olden times, we always got this vertical split on the map where you were like more comfortable in your opponent's jungle than your own. And,
yeah.
We're kind of back to that right now. Moo has the dagger for escape here.
Well, Moo may die, but he's already bought the relic, so it's not the end of the world here. His team's starting to come in to try to mount a defense, but they cannot. coL finds credit for that kill. Melon's the only one here. Now it's a 1v4 for him, and I don't think there's any way he survives this one. coL, he's picked up the Silver Edge, so they do have break on this Dragon Knight. Pretty good against Spectre.
And they'll get one back here from WanteD, so now only one tower down. And they don't aim on stopping, and right choice, because as I said, yeah, he bought the relic.
No buybacks.
Yeah,
these two heroes are down for 30. This is a huge window.
Now we have both Ruptures and the Brewmaster. We've seen this before.
We have. They can definitely hold here, but this is a big opportunity for WanteD to get some damage in. 747 tries to pop into the ult. It gets interrupted.
Oh, double Force Staff!
The Force Staff chain. It almost keeps him alive, but it's not enough. That'll be 3 heroes down. There is a buyback on the Brewmaster. He'll use it. He has ultimate, so it's a good
that toggle
PK. Armlet toggling as they will lose Chessie after Rupture comes out. They'll finish off the tier 3 tower, so now they can go for Shrine. Z-Freak trying to chase out. They want this kill on coL, but the Armlet toggle is just too much. He toggles it once more. TP's home. He will live. They only lose one there after forcing a buyback on the Brewmaster. I think WanteD should be pretty damn happy with that.
Oh, most certainly so. Tier 3 as well. Shrines are game. Roche becomes open. And WanteD are right back in it after things were starting to get a little bit scary with this whole Bloodseeker thing.
Yep.
We were approaching a almost 7k lead, and there she blows. It's Dagon time.
It's the Dagon.
Yar.
Yar. Here we go.
He's kind of a pirate. If any hero is a pirate besides Kunkka, I mean, he's a respectable admiral, but let's be frank, he's close to a pirate. Z-Freak, like, this guy looks like a pirate. I don't know. Just, he's shirtless. He's scary.
Z-Freak the pirate. Take what you can, give nothing back.
He's a
Z-Freak's motto right there. So this is a very slow Roche. Complexity
like-
do not have much in the way of minus armor.
It's like that NIP game where the sigil just comes in and makes it so difficult. But I do think this is a really nice call.
They know
Complexity.
Ravage is down.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity, but still pretty scary.
They just don't want to
WanteD
lose it to WanteD, though. I don't think they can afford that.
Yeah, you don't want to hand it over passively, that's sure. But just look how slow this is. WanteD are just slowly wrapping around.
Yeah, they have Phantasm.
QO on the other side realizes there's no sentry. Gets a little bit of an opening on the Spectre, forces out the Haunt. This is at least delaying the Roche, breaking things up. Chaos Knight gets bouldered on in. Compliments of who gets Dagon and Chessie
Roche
dies
is
after.
team
Now
Complexity.
Boris, he hops in. Boris actually snatches the Aegis as the Dire finish off Roche, but this split is going to be too much. Ruptures plus Force Staff are too much damage, and Boris is certainly to fall here. He's going to lose the Aegis, no doubt about it. He's evading like an absolute madman, but he will fall.
I
So
can tell
3 for
you
nil.
that Roche was most certainly in favor of that Sunspan take. Wow, he actually got the blink off. All right, I can't say I expected that.
Impressive. And they still get him a second time. The Shrine is up. Maybe his friends can TP, but oh wait, his friends
Friends
are dead.
Ravage in 2 seconds. The comeback.
No friends to be found. Let's see how much space can Boris create.
Oh, he tried to go for it.
Not much. Yeah, Z-Freak will finish him off. Okay.
He did the old
Well-
blink out of Ravage to my death.
Another topsy-turvy game here, Trent, but Complexity certainly find the better of that. They don't get the Aegis for themselves, but they still get the gold from Roche, some of that experience. Radiance comes out on the Spectre, so Moo is still relatively happy, and this Bloodseeker's now got a level 2 Dagon, so I can't imagine Z-Freak is too upset either.
No, he ends up with a triple kill, killing Jo, Chessie,
And Boris. So, Z-Freak again carrying the boys. And as you said there, level 2 Dagon, so... Oh, very
Good
happy
stuff.
with himself. Monkeys aiming in towards the Aghanim Scepter, but man, Roche just was bashing up. He starts attacking onto Chessie first off in that fight. He's giving him a couple bashes, and then he turns right away onto Jo and starts leaning on into him. He was not digging the side of WanteD.
No, certainly not. We're stuck in a pause here. Relive the Roche fight that just happened. It was a close call. I wonder what actually got that last hit on Roche for the Dire to pick up the kill. Catch from Boris, though. The fast fingers to grab the Aegis. Game would be a lot more difficult now if Complexity walked away from that fight with Roche, with the Aegis, and then also picking up 4 kills on top of it.
Yeah, that's true. If Moo had that Aegis,
Right
perhaps,
now,
and like sitting
Jesus.
high ground, or even if they just wanted to give it a 747 to maybe ensure these splits, which have been well focused down by WanteD.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they're also close to with PPD with the blink.
They have not made this game easy for 747. And speak of the devil, jumped on in the mid and just destroyed.
damage, though.
Complexity
Silence.
strikes back. The Ravage not going to be enough here, or is it? They turn it the other way, a 2 for 2. He's already used the Haunt on Spectre, but now Swindles drops the Death Ward. Chessie not going to be able to survive through this one. And in the end, it's a 2 for 4. QO, the only one left alive. He had a double damage rune there. It almost looked like a good fight for WanteD, but I mean, they just dropped like flies. Complexity popped the Haunt. They popped a Rupture and a Dagon, and Heroes just are deleted from the game,
Yeah,
and they'll
Monkeys.
still find QO. Monkeys TP's in, Moon nearby, lane in the right, clicks, the Met comes out, and there is no way he gets this kill on Monkeys any further. It's a full 5-man wipe as Complexity look towards this mid lane.
And Monkey's just like TP's into that fight in the middle, and he immediately force staffs Boris because he was ruptured up and he just dies. So the auras are gone. Like, he's so obnoxious to try and deal with, but if you can just rupture him up, Kraken obviously not able to purge that one off. So high ground they go. They want to claim a tier 3 of their own, potentially even more here, but with buybacks, unlikely that WanteD want to allow either of those.
Yeah,
Even the tier 3 is, you just don't want to give that up, but he's coming
They've
back.
used the cliff. The main thing is that DK doesn't have Elder Dragon form, so even though he has buyback, probably not the best here, and he'll be able to defend the tower even without any buybacks used. Only about 800 damage go to the tier 3, but all things considered, Complexity pretty happy with that, considering that they lost a tier 3 tower and also had to buy back on their Brewmaster not too long ago. The tides really have turned. Speaking of tides, the Hunter moved in on the Moo, and Z-Freak says, well, try to kill my core, I'll destroy your support. And it's looking like a bad team fight for WanteD. Tide gets killed off to the side. Melons again with a huge death ward. That'll be enough to get the kill on Chessie, and Moo will continue to chase down Jo with the help of Z-Freak. It's another overwhelming success for Complexity as all 5 of WanteD end up in the grave.
I don't know what was happening there. PPD's just like chasing the Spectre with Dagger for some reason. And then Z-Freak just shows up, kills Boris immediately. And the fight was over. So DK was dead for all of that because he was still
Yep.
respawning.
Oh, I
so they
guess
just
yeah, it
take
was
this-
a 4 for nil.
Oh, it was just this awkward, weird fight.
Tier
Now
3
we
mid.
have Aghanims on Nature's Prophet. So in case your lanes were a problem already, now it's even worse.
This is pretty scary here, Trent. Buybacks coming, Tusk back in the game, but there's no glyph for the Radiant. They have a few buybacks still standing, but that's 2 tier 3 towers down now. coL forced to TP home in his own base. And he's so close that he even took damage from the rupture. Here we go. Top melee barracks have been killed. Now the fight breaks out. Primal split onto PPD. This should be a dead Rubik, and indeed it is. Range barracks up top, certainly going to go down. This is the last stand for WanteD. It's a 4v5. They've got no Rubik for 45 seconds. There's the Ravage from Forest. Let's see. Ops the Phantasm goes in to take the fight. Witch Doctor will actually die, but this Spectre is just doing so much work. They're going to bring him down quick, but Monkey's in the back line getting the right clicks off. WanteD using the buybacks as the Tide Hunter, but he still has no Ravage. Jo will get clicked down, and I think we could be moments from a GG here. The damage is just overwhelming. They dumped
Attaboy,
everything
Boris.
they had into Moo.
Give him
He's
the
already
taunt.
picked up that 15 strength talent. He's just too damn tanky. There's the backstroke.
Oh, they're letting him live. This is true style right here. Excellent. No real way to go out in NA other than this. They throw the GG.
GG. That's it. WanteD eliminated from elimination mode as Complexity finds the win in game 3.
And you guys
My
just doubt
me.
Jungle Bloodseeker like that, honestly.
Yep. Russian
wrong with you?
broadcasters loving the backstroke there. It's good.